Hey everybody, it's Stevie B with Adventures in Old Fashions, giving you guys an update on my Colorado Trail through hike. Like I said, I wasn't sure when I would be able to give you updates and post, but I happen to be camping in a spot tonight that has some cell service, so I thought I'd shoot a quick video, give you a recap from the first couple of days, and then I'm going to call it a night because today was a rough one. Yesterday, first day, felt good. Stopped just shy of 12 miles in segment one. It was pretty much all uphill after the first, 5 miles. Waterton Canyon, the road that you follow is a water service road for like the dams for the utility. So it was pretty easy hiking, pretty straightforward. I made pretty good time. But then after that, everything just went uphill. So it was well, let me get the guidebook here and give you guys an idea of exactly what I was looking at there. So yeah, it went from 6,000 feet when it started going up, and over the course of the next 4 miles, topped out at about 7,500. So a lot of switchbacks, but I'd been hiking the bluff, so it wasn't too bad. Decided to call it early night because it was getting about 4 o'clock and I'd had a long day the way it was, and I didn't know really how long it was going to take me to set up camp. Being that first night, I didn't have a routine in place. I didn't kind of know how to organize my chores, setting up the tent, eating, cooking, hanging my bear bag, kind of getting everything ready for the night. I'm glad I stopped where I did, though. It was a gorgeous view, and when I get a chance to post some pictures, I'll do that. It was great. Like I said, it was almost at the highest point of segment one, so great view. The only problem was, and I think this is going to be a problem for me going forward, the ground, it's really hard, and rocks and sand and gravel. Think of a gravel road that's been driven on, and then trying to pound tent stakes into that to set up a tent. And the problem is my tent needs the stakes to set it up with the trekking pole. It's not a freestanding tent. So that, I think, is going to be an issue, and I'm trying to figure out how I can resolve that. I might need to swap tents out here before I get too far into this thing. Because, like I said, today was a rough one. I'm not even setting up a tent tonight. I'm ready to go to bed. I'm just going to lay here on the ground for the night. I'm going to put my shoes and my socks in a plastic bag next to me so the rodents don't get at them and eat the shoelaces. But yeah, the tent, I sacrificed for lower weight, and I should have just decided to carry an extra pound and a half or so and went with a more robust tent. And I'm kind of regretting that choice at the moment. But I'm only 2 days in, so who knows? The terrain might change and it might get a little bit better. But at this point, I'm thinking that was probably an error on my side for the terrain I'm going to be in. Also, the spot I picked was great because I made my first trail friend. An awesome guy named Mike and his dog Mabel set up across the path for me, which was nice because there has been bear trouble in that area. I actually walked past a couple of tents that had been ransacked and abandoned. Whoever was in them took off running and never came back for their stuff. So having the dog there was great because you could hear something stalking back and forth out in the trees in the night, and I could tell when the dog wanted to get out of the tent and was making noise. So I was really glad to have them there. They decided to take a really short day today because from where we camped, it's 5 miles down to the river to get a water resupply. So I talked to Mike and bid farewell to Mabel if I don't see her again this morning, and then I took off to knock out segment two. They made the smart choice and decided to camp at the river. They are going to get an early start tomorrow and try and get through segment two before it gets really hot. Segment two is about 12 miles altogether, a little less, but 8 of those miles are fully exposed in a burn area from a forest fire back in, I think, 93. No trees, no shade. The little thermometer that I carry with told me it was 90 degrees. So looking back, I think it was a mistake to hike through that during that time of day. I ended up taking about an hour and a half break. I found some scrub brush that gave a little bit of shade, and I just laid down on the ground, took off my shoes and socks, and just got out of the heat and just rested. I'd loaded up on water at the river before I left because I knew it was going to be 10 miles before the next water source, and I am so glad that I did. I was down to about a quarter liter of water out of the 3.5 that I started with by the time I got to the water source. And it's not even a creek. It's a fire station out in the middle of nowhere that has a spigot on the back of the building, and they are gracious enough to let packers stop and water up. I was never so glad to see a public utility building in my life. I even put some money in the donation box because it was nice to have that there. So I figured if that's close to where I'm camping, I might have cell service, and sure enough I do. So here's your updated video for the first 2 days. I'm going to try and get an early start tomorrow. My guess is sleeping cowboy style under the stars. I will probably be up pretty early. I don't think I'm going to be bothered by any wildlife, but you never know. It's hard to say. I'm more worried about rodents getting into my stuff, so that's why I'm going to put everything in just a plastic bag tonight next to me. So if it starts rustling, I can start thrashing around and making noise and chasing the mice or gophers or whoever's trying to chew up my stuff off. I will keep you up to date with what's going on when I can. No promises, but I am spent, and I am going to call it a night. I hope you guys are doing great. I'm doing good. I know I'm complaining about it, but it was just a rough day. I know there's going to be more of them, but I know there's going to be even more great days, and I'm looking forward to those. Maybe tomorrow. It'd be nice. Take care, and I will keep you posted when I can. Have a great night.